Sooners pulled it off. Yeah, we pulled it off. Y'all know what it is. It's the morning after. We do this after every game. For the uninitiated, we're going to give you the good, the bad, the ugly, and the excellent from this game. And don't worry, the excellent is going to be full of two people. I promise you, just two, because they're the only two that deserve the excellent. Stick around, and we will heap all the praise on them at that point. Before we do that, welcome to Unfair Sports. I'm your host, Jay. They got pulling up to the channel. This video is powered by our partners at Sleeper. If you're not checking them out for daily fantasy ball, you are missing out. Use our promo code UNFAIR. They're going to give you $20 just for checking it out, and then match your first deposit at 100% up to $100. So we got to dive right into this game. Sooners pull out an unthinkable, gutsy win, 33-27, against one of the best offenses and the top scoring offenses in the country. Yep, I'm going to continue to say that over and over. I'm going to continue to hype that over and over because Tennessee puts up points. They averaged over 43 points per game coming into this, and we held them to 27. I know. There's a lot to complain about. I promise you, there is. Like, I could complain all day long, but I'm not going to, because what value is that when you get a gutsy win? There's things to work on. We'll talk about that. But first, shout out to the fact that on the good side, we found a run game. I'm not sure if y'all noticed that the run game still made its valiant return. We rushed for 192 yards in this game. Xavier Robinson with another 100-yard game. I guess that's where the silver lining comes in for John Mateer's RPO interception late in the game. Yeah, it made no sense to me to do it either, but him throwing that led to X-Rob getting that big run that we thought was going to be a touchdown that ended up not being a touchdown, but then we eventually went in for the touchdown, and I'm still having questions about that. But that doesn't matter because Oklahoma held Tennessee to 63 yards rushing. This is the lowest that they've done in 4 years. Basically, it felt like the strategy was similar to Michigan. Let Aguilar do his thing. Make him beat you. Shorts, over the middles, dumps, do that. Now I know you all are like, why don't we stop all of that stuff? Look, you got to give up some stuff when you're dealing with greatness. Heupel's offenses put up numbers on everybody. That's just is what it is, right? It's just like Lane Kiffin. They always put up numbers. What are you supposed to do to stop it? That's where the struggle comes in. But Oklahoma gutted this out. Like, this was a win that was desperately needed. You get a third win against a ranked team. That's the second most in college football right now. And I don't know if Tennessee actually loses a game for the rest of the year. Pretty solid finish, though, right? You get another big win against a ranked team. Satania shows up, gives you some good stuff. But the fact that you only gave up 63 yards rushing, to me, is a big deal. A lot of great plays in there. I'm going to talk through some of the plays in a second. The secondary did as much as they possibly could to stop all of that veer and shoot and spreading you out. They spread you out to make it to where they can get them little open dumps. But if you don't give up a whole bunch of yards on that final drive, it's not almost 400 yards passing. It's less than that. That's, silver lining in all of this. Bad, though. Jump right into this bad. Ooh, buddy. We did get cooked. We got cooked. Statistically, it was wild. I think it was like 200 and something yards to like 60 something at the half. Stank. Just stinking. But somehow we were up 16-10 at the half. Hey, man, I don't write the rules. Right? All right, let me go back to good, though, because I need to give a shout out to the Tennessee fandom, Tennessee to Neyland Stadium. The night game was fantastic. The stadium atmosphere was unreal. The fans were great. I kept being offered food. I think I gained 15 pounds just from all the offers and the smells. It was awesome. They were very hospitable, and I see why Sooner Nation as well as Vols Nation like each other. It was really good. in that capacity. So I wanted to make sure I gave them their shout out because they deserved it. It was awesome. Like I said, being around them, even when the game was basically given away and they were leaving, they're like, "Hey, thank y'all for coming out. We appreciate you." Of course, everybody, there's enough people that dealt with some jackasses here or there, but for the most part, fans were dope. So commend y'all for that. And night mode was pretty cool. The intro is probably one of the best ones I've ever seen. The T that was lit up in blue, dope. Back to the bat though. He was getting cooked on that on just the slants, inside passes. Got a couple of deep ones that fried us, but the defense didn't quit. I think that roughing the passer play when we had them out on third down really teed off a lot of our players, and we didn't do very well to end that drive. But just the fact that you held them, I mean, you got 3 touchdowns, 2 field goals. Yeah. The fact that we got some interceptions, though, too, even though you were really testing it out. I don't know if y'all realized it. It's funny when Peyton Bowen got that interception, him and Eli were both in the play. So as Eli's playing defense, Peyton's coming across the top. It was perfect. Bad, of course, still goes to the officials as well because I don't know what that pass interference was. I mean, it's a short pass, so, pass interference. They call all kinds of BS calls on both sides, period. The spot was trash that they had to go review and give Tennessee the first down. It was like, no, that was first down from the beginning. What are we doing here? There's a lot of that. But the gutsiness of pulling that out was huge. All right, let's look at some of the ugly, though, because I got to go ahead and roast us as a team, as a organization, and everything. We deserve to get roasted. Before we do that, shout out to our partners over there at Sleeper. If you haven't checked them out for daily fantasy ball, you're missing out. We're going to make a couple picks, but they're hooking y'all up. $20 just to sign up. Plus, they're going to match your first deposit at 100% up to $100. Use our promo code UNFAIR. And so, Sunday, baby, give me a little, Jordan Love has been, pretty solid in the game. He's the early one. We'll get some Jordan Love action. Give me a little Christian McCaffrey on a touchdown because he's been playing good ball. Stat Padford, does he throw a pick against the Saints? Nah, we're not going to take that. But Stephon Diggs, though, he may get some yards. All you do is pick 2 or more players, pick more or less on the stats, and of course, you can win up to 1,000 times your money, making those game days into paydays. So check them out. Use our promo code UNFAIR. Match your first deposit at 100% up to $100 plus $20 just for showing up. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Ugly, man, was this offense overall. 60-some yards in the first half to almost 300-some yards. It was stupid. It was actually quite absurd that our offense couldn't figure out how to keep drives and keep them sustained. Just period. Now, you get later in the game, second half, you start to see John Mateer out there figuring out how to – he started to look confident. He started to stop thinking on his runs. He tuck, boom, bounce. And he picked up – I mean, he didn't have a terrible game in this one. When you look at the numbers, statistically, it wasn't awful, but it wasn't all that great. He finished with, 96 yards on the ground on 16 carries. Pretty good. Only threw for 159, though, which honestly is ugly. It's ugly because Tennessee's secondary gives up yards to everybody. I think Cutter Boley for Kentucky threw for 400 yards on them. You got to do better. Now, at the same time, that could have been a lot of garbage time stuff, too. But that Tennessee defense is not good. It's stinky, and we did not take advantage of that. And that, to me, is where I was a little perturbed, period. We ran like crap in the first quarter. We played like crap in the first quarter. Everything in the first quarter was just bad. First half, just in general, the stats are, we had first half statistics, cumulative. We had 99 yards of O to their 255. That's stinky, guys. We got to fix that. Now, granted, again, I said third quarter, going forward, you start to see John Mateer settle in. It felt like he was getting comfortable. And he looked like he was more confident. He threw for 131 yards. We had 131 yards. In the third, we also ran for 130 in the third quarter. So we had 261 of our yards in Q3. Not bad, right? Like it's hard to complain whenever you bounce back like that. And in the fourth quarter, we only give up 85 yards passing, and most of it's on that final drive. 93 yards total of offense. Fourth quarter, we had 162. So our offense showed up in the second half. Second half offense was actually existent. Not sure how we did it, but we did it. So second half was solid, but that was an ugly offensive game. Ugly. Again. But the fact that you was able to win the game with some stank like that, I'm impressed. All right, excellent. This dude right here, y'all leave this man alone about his shorts. He will be wearing those shorts going forward. Because when you hit 3 50-plus yard field goals with a 55-yarder in there, setting a record at Neyland, yeah, man, you can rock the little shorts all you want. You rock the comfort that helps you every time. I don't care. I don't want to hear anything. Y'all shut it up. Stop talking smack. Leave that man alone. Because getting a 55-yarder, a 51-yarder, a 40-yarder, and then a 55-yarder in Neyland, in that hostile environment, y'all know college kickers. We always talk about college kickers. But them shorts gets all my respect. The fact that he's comfortable in himself to rock those and then put that left leg to work, don't y'all say nothing to that man. Somebody better buy that man a beer when you see him. Give him a high five. Period. So Tate Sandell, you are the MVP. Get that man a Heisman Trophy because that's absurd. 4 field goals in Neyland like that. 4 for 4 until he was just like, boom, nails. That's tough to do on the road in an environment where they spewing all kinds of stuff at you. That man was ice cold, period. Shout out to R. Mason Thomas for putting the team on his back, a la Greg Jennings and Marshawn Lynch. If you know, you know. That man carried that fumble all the way in there, tweaked his hammy, it appeared, made it into the zone and got a touchdown. 71-yard fumble recovery. To me, that felt like a lot of the life in Oklahoma showed up after that wild sequence. Owen Heineke led the way, 13 tackles or something, dog. He was hidden, folks. He's everywhere. But going in there on that RPO, full speed, leveling Joey Aguilar, the fumble bounces right into the hands of R. Mason Thomas, which is even more hilarious. Because if you watch the play again, he was being held while he was going to the quarterback, being held after he recovered the fumble, and was being held while he was running to the end zone, and then he finally broke the dude off. Did the refs call a hold? Hell no. They ain't call no hold. What are you talking about, bro? This is SEC refs. They don't call that stuff. That dude was being held the entire time. But I also got to give on this excellent, I got to give shout out to Tennessee. The white gloves were genius. They were not aesthetically pleasing, especially in dark mode, but they were genius. Why? You put the white gloves on them white jerseys, kind of hard to see a hold, ain't it? Kind of hard to see a pass interference. Kind of hard to see a pull. Kind of hard to see anything because you blend it in. Genius. And I think it reflected in the penalties because they didn't really get called for no penalties in this game. It was stupid. Stupid, I tell you. Stupid. 8 tackles for loss for Oklahoma, which is what you're supposed to do. We had 351 yards total offense. It was a mixed. It was a balance. Mainly because X-Rob ran that ball all the way down. And then he had to ask the question, do I need to score on this play? Keep it a buck. I wish he did. Or, if not, you knew Tennessee was going to let you score because they're going to need to go ahead and get the clock going, go back to their tempo like they've been doing. So what you should have did was, after he fell on the 1, John should have kneeled it, first down, let them call timeout. Kneel it again, second down, let them call timeout. Third down, hand to X-Rob running for a touchdown. Because they were going to let you score. Period. They had to. Because they needed that clock to be on their favor. But if you run it but with X-Rob, you're going to get a touchdown because you were muscling them on the line for the most part. But, yeah, 6.5 sacks in this game. They got 3 late. I mean, it was a lot of BS ones, but whatevs. But the fact that you had 11 penalties for 104 yards in this game, and they had 3 penalties for 25, and you gutted this out, that's excellent. This is a culture win. Something Oklahoma desperately needed. For real. I don't think I understand. Those close wins help the team realize that even if I make mistakes, I can bounce back. And they did that. So you got to be proud. All right. I'm about to go home. Still dark. But it's not dark. It's gloomy here right now. So that's why you don't really see any light in this video. But let me know what y'all think. Hop in the comments. What are your thoughts? There were a lot of great stuff that happened in there. There's a lot of terrible stuff. Me and Cooper lose our mind later. Me and John will lose our mind in the morning. He went live right after the game. Go check it out. He did a great job. But yeah, we got a lot to talk about. Shout out to our partners over there at Sleeper. If you're not using them for daily fantasy ball, you're missing out. Use our promo code UNFAIR. They're going to hook you up. $20 just for signing up, plus a match at 100% on your first $100. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms and use for details. I will see each and every one of y'all soon. Peace.